Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Everyday English Channel with Tom and Kate. We're really happy to have you with us today.
Thanks for joining us. We hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you're listening from. Today we're going to talk about something that many people start thinking about as the weather gets warmer: summer plans.
Yes, summer is an exciting time of year for many people. Some take long holidays, others stay at home and enjoy local activities, and some people simply look forward to spending more time outside with friends and family. No matter what your plans are, it's a topic that comes up in conversations all the time.
That's true. People often ask questions like, "What are you doing this summer?" or "Have you planned your holiday yet?" Even if you don't have any big plans, it's a great opportunity to have a relaxed conversation in English.
Exactly. And before we continue, if you enjoy these calm and practical English conversations, you can subscribe to the channel or share this episode with someone who is learning English. It really helps us, and we really appreciate it.
So, Tom, have you already started thinking about your summer?
I have actually. I wouldn't say every detail is planned, but I usually like to organize things a little in advance. I find it much less stressful when I know where I'm going, when I'm leaving, and what I need to prepare. Then, once everything is organized, I can simply enjoy the holiday.
That sounds very organized, which is exactly what I expected from you. I'm almost the opposite. I usually have a few ideas, but I don't like making too many plans too early. Sometimes the best opportunities appear at the last minute, and I like having the freedom to change my mind.
I understand that. There are definitely advantages to being flexible. Still, I enjoy looking forward to something. Planning a trip gives me time to read about the destination, choose places I'd like to visit, and think about activities I'd enjoy. For me, that's already part of the holiday experience.
I actually enjoy that part too, but I usually wait until the trip is getting closer. Then I start searching for restaurants, interesting places to visit, and maybe a few local markets. I don't make a strict schedule, though. I prefer discovering things naturally once I'm there.
I think that's how many people travel today. They have a general idea of what they'd like to do, but they leave enough room for surprises. Sometimes the best memories come from places you weren't planning to visit at all.
Absolutely. Some of my favorite travel experiences happened by accident. Maybe we took the wrong street and found a beautiful little cafe, or we stopped in a small village because we were curious. Those unexpected moments often become the most memorable part of the holiday.
Another thing people often talk about during summer is whether they're traveling abroad or staying in their own country. Both options have their advantages. Traveling abroad lets you discover a different culture, while staying closer to home can be more relaxing and sometimes much less expensive.
Yes. And I think people sometimes forget that you don't have to travel very far to enjoy your summer. There are often beautiful places quite close to home that we've never visited simply because we always think about going somewhere else.
That's a very good point. Sometimes we know more about famous tourist attractions in other countries than interesting places just an hour away from where we live. Summer can be a perfect time to explore your own region.
Another topic that comes up naturally is the weather. People always hope for sunny days during their holiday. Of course, we can't control the weather, but everyone likes imagining blue skies, warm evenings, and spending more time outdoors.
Yes, although I've learned that it's better not to expect perfect weather every single day. If it rains for an afternoon, it doesn't mean the holiday is ruined. Sometimes that's the perfect excuse to visit a museum, enjoy a long lunch, or simply relax with a good book.
I completely agree. Having flexible expectations usually makes traveling much more enjoyable. Not everything has to go exactly according to plan for a holiday to be successful.
And that's probably one of the nicest things about summer. Whether you're traveling far away, exploring somewhere nearby, or simply enjoying a few quiet days at home, it's a season that gives people a chance to slow down, recharge, and create new memories.
One thing I really enjoy about summer is that life seems to slow down a little. People spend more time outside, cafes have outdoor seating, parks are full of families, and the evenings seem to last forever. Even after work, it still feels like there's plenty of time to do something enjoyable.
I completely agree. Long evenings are probably my favorite part of summer. In winter, it gets dark so early that you sometimes just want to stay indoors. But during the summer, you can finish dinner and still go for a walk, meet friends, or simply sit outside and enjoy the fresh air.
That's true. And I think people naturally become more active when the weather is nice. Instead of staying at home, they might go cycling, have a picnic, visit a nearby town, or spend the afternoon at the beach if they live close to the sea. The good weather makes it much easier to say yes to spontaneous plans. And that's exactly why I try not to fill every day with a schedule. Sometimes a friend sends a message saying, "Do you want to have dinner outside tonight?" Or, "Let's go for a walk." I like being able to say yes without checking a long list of plans first.
I can understand that. Although I enjoy organizing holidays, I don't think every hour needs to be planned. Even on a trip, it's nice to leave part of the day completely free. You never know what interesting place you might discover or who you might meet.
Exactly. Some of the best holiday memories begin with someone saying, "Why don't we go and see what's over there?" You don't always need a detailed plan. Sometimes curiosity is enough.
Another thing people often talk about before summer is packing. Some people start preparing their suitcase several days before leaving, while others wait until the evening before the trip. I think you can probably guess which group I belong to.
Oh, I don't even have to think about it. You probably have a checklist, fold all your clothes neatly, and double-check that you packed everything.
I have to admit, I do make a checklist. It helps me avoid forgetting important things like my passport, phone charger, sunglasses, or travel documents. Once everything is packed, I don't have to worry anymore.
I admire that because I'm usually walking around the house at the last minute asking myself, "Where did I leave my swimsuit?" Or, "Has anyone seen my sunglasses?" I always manage to leave on time somehow, but the final hour before a trip is usually a little chaotic.
I think many people will recognize that situation. Another useful expression people often use is, "I can't wait." For example, "I can't wait for my holiday," or "I can't wait to spend a week by the sea." It's a very natural way of saying you're really excited about something.
Yes, I use that expression quite often, especially when work becomes busy. Sometimes just knowing you have a holiday coming soon gives you extra motivation to finish everything before you leave. It's nice having something to look forward to.
Speaking of work, many people spend the last few days before their holiday preparing everything for their colleagues. They finish important tasks, reply to emails, and make sure someone can help if there's an emergency while they're away. Then, when the holiday finally begins, they can relax without constantly thinking about work.
That's a good feeling. There's nothing better than closing your laptop, knowing everything is under control, and saying, "See you in 2 weeks." At that moment, your holiday really begins.
Another thing I enjoy during the summer is eating outside, whether it's breakfast on a balcony, lunch in a park, or dinner on a terrace, meals somehow feel different when you're outdoors. Even simple food tastes a little better.
I was just thinking the same thing. There's something special about warm evenings, sitting outside with family or friends, talking for hours without looking at the time. Nobody seems to be in a hurry. The atmosphere is much more relaxed than during the rest of the year.
I think that's one of the reasons so many people love summer. It's not only about taking holidays, it's also about enjoying ordinary moments that somehow feel a little more special because of the season.
Exactly. Whether you're traveling to another country or simply spending time close to home, summer often gives people the chance to slow down, reconnect with others, and enjoy the simple pleasures that everyday life sometimes makes us forget.
Another thing I always notice during the summer is how different weekends feel. Even if you're not on holiday, a sunny Saturday somehow feels longer and more relaxing than it does during the rest of the year. People wake up a little later, have breakfast outside, and take their time before deciding what to do.
I know exactly what you mean. During the summer, weekends don't always need a big plan. Sometimes it's enough to visit a local market, walk around a nearby town, or simply spend the afternoon reading in the garden or at a park. Those quiet days can be just as enjoyable as traveling somewhere far away.
I completely agree. I think people sometimes put too much pressure on themselves to have an amazing summer. They feel like they need expensive holidays or exciting adventures every week. But some of the happiest moments come from very ordinary activities shared with people you enjoy being around.
That's such a good point. When I think about my favorite summers, I don't immediately remember famous landmarks or expensive hotels. I remember eating ice cream while walking through a small town, watching the sunset with friends, or sitting outside talking until it became dark. Those simple moments stay with you much longer.
Another thing people often discuss during the summer is trying something new. Maybe they decide to learn paddleboarding, rent bicycles for the weekend, go hiking, or even start a new hobby while they have more free time. Summer often gives people the feeling that it's a good moment to try something different.
Yes, I think the longer days encourage that. When you finish work and it's still sunny outside, you feel like you have enough time to do something interesting instead of going straight home. It's easier to say, "Let's try that," because the day doesn't feel like it's already over.
That's very true. And even if the activity isn't perfect, you've still had a new experience. Sometimes people discover a hobby they continue long after summer has ended.
Another thing I enjoy is visiting friends and family. During the year, everyone seems busy with work, school, and daily routines. But in the summer, people often have more free weekends, so it's easier to organize a barbecue, a family lunch, or an afternoon together.
I think barbecues are one of the things I associate most with summer. The food is important, of course. But it's really about spending several hours together. People eat, talk, laugh, play games with the children, and nobody is watching the clock. The whole day feels relaxed.
Exactly. And conversations during those gatherings are usually very natural. Someone asks about holiday plans, another person talks about a recent trip, and someone else shares ideas for places to visit. It's one of the reasons summer vocabulary is so useful, because these topics come up again and again.
Yes, and another common question people ask is, are you going anywhere this year? It's a simple question, but it can lead to a long conversation. Someone might talk about a beach holiday, another person might be visiting family, and someone else might say they're staying home and enjoying a quiet summer. Every answer is completely normal,
That's something I really like. There's no right or wrong way to spend your summer. Some people love busy cities, others prefer mountains or the countryside, and some are happiest relaxing at home with a good book and a cool drink. The important thing is choosing what makes you happy, not what everyone else is doing.
I couldn't agree more. Social media sometimes makes it seem as though everyone is traveling to incredible places every weekend. But that's only a small part of reality. Most people enjoy a mixture of simple days, family time, short trips, and quiet moments at home.
I think that's a healthy way to look at it. A successful summer doesn't have to be filled with constant activity. Sometimes the most relaxing holiday is the one where you finally have time to slow down, sleep a little longer, enjoy good meals, and spend time with the people who matter most.
Exactly. When people look back at the end of the summer, they usually don't remember every detail. They remember how they felt. Whether they laughed with friends, relaxed with family, discovered a beautiful place, or simply enjoyed having more time for themselves, those feelings are often what make the season memorable.
And I think that's why talking about summer plans is such a common topic. Everyone's plans are different, but the conversation is always interesting because people enjoy sharing what they're looking forward to and hearing about the experiences of others.
As we've been talking today, I've realized something. Summer isn't really about having the perfect holiday. It's about having a break from your usual routine, spending time with people you care about, and enjoying moments that you don't always have during the rest of the year.
I completely agree. Sometimes people spend months planning a holiday, but when they look back, it's often the unexpected moments they remember most. A conversation at a small cafe, an evening walk along the beach, finding a beautiful viewpoint, or simply laughing together over dinner. Those memories usually stay with us much longer than any travel itinerary.
That's very true. And I think one of the nicest things about talking about summer plans is that everyone has a different idea of what makes a perfect holiday. For one person, it's exploring a new country. For someone else, it's spending a quiet week in the countryside. And for another person, it's simply staying home without setting an alarm clock every morning.
Exactly. There's no single definition of a successful summer. Some people enjoy adventure, while others enjoy peace and quiet. The important thing is choosing what helps you relax and return to your normal routine feeling refreshed.
Another thing I like about summer is how often people spend time outdoors. Instead of meeting inside a restaurant, they choose a terrace. Instead of watching television, they go for an evening walk. Instead of staying at home all weekend, they might visit a nearby lake, a park, or a small village they've never seen before. Those little changes make everyday life feel different.
Yes, and I think that's one of the reasons people often say that summer passes too quickly. When you're enjoying yourself, the weeks seem to go by so fast. Then suddenly someone says, "Can you believe it's already August?" Or, "I can't believe the holidays are almost over." I hear those sentences every year.
Me too. And it's a reminder to enjoy the present instead of always thinking about what's coming next. Sometimes we're already worrying about going back to work before the holiday has even finished. It's much better to appreciate the moment you're living right now.
I completely agree. Another useful expression people often use is, "I'm looking forward to." For example, "I'm looking forward to seeing my family," or "I'm looking forward to spending a few days by the sea." It's a very natural expression because people often talk about future plans that make them happy.
Yes, I use that expression quite a lot. It doesn't have to be about a long holiday either. You can say, I'm looking forward to the weekend, or I'm looking forward to our barbecue on Saturday. It's a simple phrase, but it's useful in so many everyday conversations.
Another thing I enjoy about summer is that people often become more spontaneous. A neighbor might invite you over for a drink, friends might organize a picnic at the last minute, or someone might suggest watching the sunset together. Because the weather is nice and the evenings are longer, people are often more willing to say yes.
That's very true. Some of my favorite memories started with someone saying, "We're going out in half an hour. Would you like to come?" There wasn't a detailed plan or a special occasion. It was simply a chance to spend time together, and those moments often become the most enjoyable ones.
I think that's a good reminder for all of us. Sometimes we spend so much time trying to organize everything perfectly that we forget to leave room for simple, unexpected experiences. A little flexibility can make a holiday even more enjoyable.
Absolutely. Whether your summer includes traveling abroad, discovering places close to home, visiting friends, or simply enjoying peaceful evenings after work, every plan has value if it brings you happiness. There's no competition. Everyone enjoys the season in their own way.
Before we finish, thank you very much for spending this time with us today.
We hope this conversation helps you feel more comfortable talking about your summer plans and having natural conversations in English.
If you enjoyed this episode, you can subscribe to the channel or share it with someone who is learning English. It really helps us grow, and we truly appreciate your support.
Join us in the next episode for another calm and practical English conversation.
Thanks again for listening.
And remember, keep speaking English every day.